People, now you have the opportunity to self-screen with the help of a helpline. Today, this was introduced at the Eldorado Park Clinic in Extension 2 by the MMC for Community Development, Margaret Arnolds.
What we're doing today here is we are handing over a sanitizer booth. You know, we all know that you expect someone to stand at the gate, sanitize you. At least this person also needs to be relieved. So we've brought in a booth where it will go quicker. People get in, they're already sanitized the entire body. And then we also brought the toll-free line. The toll-free line, I believe, is going to work for elders. It is very, very important that we partner up with private sector and with individuals that have these things so that we are also able to assist our people. Alone we cannot do it, but together we can.
So this toll-free line takes away the burden of having the funds available to make that phone call, first of all. But secondly, it gives them the ability to empower themselves to know as well, if they are a low risk, we continue to advise them on how to keep on being a low risk instead of exposing themselves and creating further risks. But if they are a high risk, then there's further steps that get taken that allow them to be referred to the correct designated points where we partner with the NICD that allows them to be tested for the COVID virus and then put into the right programs such as isolation points that have been designated around the country.
It's a simple apparatus, just basically 3 nozzles with the chemical, with the sanitizer that disinfects the complete body, including the shoes and the floor. We're looking at other opportunities on how we can get more out there.
The toll-free number is very important and very helpful, especially the boot. It will help us from head to toe.
We also spoke to those who voluntarily came for screening.
I was quite nervous before testing. It is a nerve-wracking experience and it is uncomfortable when they put the swab down your throat, but it is necessary.
The toll-free number is national and can be accessed on 080-020-2952. The clinic says they have had no positive results since they started.
Since you're not allowed to enjoy the sights and sounds that Joburg has to offer, we thought we'd take you through a tour of Joburg's hidden gems.
The first owners of the house were people called Dale Lace, and they engaged Baker in 1902 to design a house for them on the site. And here you can see some of it with the main hall here. 1911, the house burnt down.
Oh.
And then it coincided with the loss of their fortune, and the house was then bought by a second very rich mining magnate.
Wow, but I can see how it's still got that very same resemblance. How does this building still get utilized in today's world?
All right, when the house was restored, the idea was to turn it into a living monument. In other words, not a museum. It had to live, and so we have tenants in some of the offices. They have to be cultural, educational tenants. I live here, of course, and then we have tours for international tourists to South Africa. But we also have, for example, regular tours by school children to kind of suggest that this is part of Johannesburg's heritage, even though it's this great 52-roomed mansion.
Wow. So, Neil, how do you utilize all this history and legacy today?
All right. The most important thing is that it has to stay a live place. It has to be used. And so this room, for example, the main hall of the house, we use for the last 17 years now for classical music recitals once a month. Oh. But also it forms the central point of the tours that we have of the house. There is no use having a building like this in a city like Johannesburg if it is not for the people of Johannesburg. It has to be something that people feel that they can own as their own. Otherwise, buildings like this fall into decay, and once that happens, they get demolished, and that's the end of a whole slice of history of a house.
Hi, I'm Jen Sue, and you're watching Joburg Today.